Hey folks, today's news for spatial strategy and open world players. Bethesda Software has confirmed that they are coming with a new game called Fallout 5. Already many people have predicted that Fallout will come, and bang, here is Todd Howard from Bethesda doing an interview with IGN's Rand McAfee, and yes, they are going to make Fallout 5. In an interview, Todd Howard says, yes, Elder Scrolls 6 is in pre-production, and we are going to be doing Fallout 5 after that. So our slate is pretty full going forward for a while. Fallout 5 would be the next game in the post-apocalyptic series after Fallout 76, which had a pretty rough launch. But it sounds as if Fallout 5 isn't the only game Bethesda Game Studios is thinking about, as Howard noted to IGN that we have some other projects that we look at from time to time as well. Here is some other news from Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII Remake integration is coming to Steam, and it's gonna have some Steam Deck supported. It is Steam Deck verified. Not only this, Final Fantasy Crisis Core Remake with new character models and everything. It is a perfect way to fill the things out. First Final Fantasy VII, then Final Fantasy Crisis Core. I hope they make this kind of thing more interesting in this future. This is coming in this winter, I hope. And Final Fantasy VII Part 2 is officially now. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will come in winter 2023. This is gonna be huge because Tetsuya Nomura also confirmed that they are already started for the work for Part 3. The next news is for RPG lovers. Last week, we saw something happen that many gamers have been praying for years. Capcom finally stopped dodging that question and officially announced Dragon Dogma 2. Although they didn't give us a lot of information, but yes, Capcom announced that they would be celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Dragon's Dogma, and fans immediately predicted that the announcement of a sequel. The unfortunate part of the announcement for Dragon's Dogma 2 is that is likely still a long way off from being completed. Game director Hideaki Itsuno last worked on Devil May Cry 5, which was fully completed with the special edition late in 2020. It is possible development started on Dragon's Dogma 2 somewhere around then, but even if it did, we still guess that we'd have about 3 more years before we will see it. New news from Resident Evil. The third-person camera game in the critically acclaimed survival horror series launched in the previous year and has already sold over 6 million copies worldwide. There were many requests for additional DLC, and guess what? A whole new DLC is coming. So far, Capcom has not revealed that whether or not the series will revert to a third-person perspective for future entries. While the recent remakes of Resident Evil 2, 3 and 4 all use third person, that could simply be retain the same look like the original games. Now the time for controller news. First news is coming from 8BitDo. The 8BitDo is a premier third-party video game hardware company with a special focus on retro-themed game controllers. But this time, 8BitDo launching a Bluetooth controller for gamers with a limited mobility. This Bluetooth controller is for Android. Not only Android, you can say, it is for Nintendo Switch also. Another news also from the controller. The PlayStation 5 has been out for a couple of years now, having launched in November 2020, but new rumors suggest that Pro version could be set to launch a lot sooner than we would expected. A Sony event is set to go down on June 28. Tom Henderson also tweeted that Sony is working on an official new PlayStation 5 Pro and it has some awesome new features. If the DualSense controller isn't good enough for you, then this will definitely excite it. Sony is apparently working on PS5 Pro controller, while the name might end up being different when it is launched, in my opinion, from what we know thus far. There is likely a chance of Sony unveiling several new pieces of hardware before the end of June 2022. While there is no clear indication as to what this might be, this is no guarantee that the PS5 Pro controller will be one of them. We will report more on this as soon as the information becomes available, so stay tuned. That's all for today's gamers. We will be meeting soon with lots of new awesome cool new trailers and reviews also. And if you have some really good news, then tell us. We will be definitely be pleased to hear from you. And if you like this channel, hit the like button and subscribe us for more cool news and stuff, and share it with your friends. Stay happy, stay energetic, and let's Gamepod.